Hey guys, welcome to episode 7 of Coffee with Cory. I'm your host, Cory Jackson, and let me tell you, we are in for a treat today with my guests, a married country duo that I'm honored to call my friends right out of my home state, Arkansas. Today we're going to talk about the moments that hook your heart, those life-giving reminders that you're right where you're supposed to be. They come through people, through encouragement, through open doors, and sometimes through hard work paying off. In this episode, we take a moment to reflect and celebrate those who inspire, uplift, and shape us on the journey. So grab your coffee and let's wade in. Today's guests are Cliff and Susan, a dynamic husband and wife country duo from Little Rock, Arkansas. They combine powerful vocals, multi-instrumental musicianship. I'm glad I said that because every time I've been stumbling over that a little bit. And an electrifying stage presence that's been compared to a Southern Charlie Daniels meets Jerry Lee Lewis. They met on stage in 2016, eloped in Las Vegas in 2017, and have since toured internationally, rocking festivals and venues across 7 countries, opening for acts like ZZ Top, Sawyer Brown, and Nico Moon, and holding a decade-long residency at Oaklawn Casino in beautiful Hot Springs, Arkansas. Y'all need to add that to the end of that, too. Their debut album, Fiddle and Keys, from 2023, cracked the top 40 on iTunes Country. I remember when that happened. It was just incredible. I was so excited for you guys. And they won 3 awards at the 2025 Arkansas Country Music Awards, which is so deserved. That includes Entertainer of the Year, Vocal Duo of the Year, and Album of the Year. Beyond performing, Cliff and Susan founded Big Red Dog Productions and Entertainers Academy, which empowers independent artists to build sustainable careers. I'm thrilled to have them with us today for episode 7. Guys, welcome. How are you?
We're great.
We are
Thanks
great.
for having us. We're excited to be here. And yeah, really cool that you're doing a new podcast. Glad to be on it.
Well, thank you guys. I mean, y'all have inspired me, ever since I met you guys. So I know y'all have your own podcast too. And I've been wanting to dive into this for a while. So thank you guys for being a part of it today.
Thank you. And we're inspired by you, of course. I mean, it's been cool. And I'm sure we're going to dive into how you and Cliff have written together and some of the stuff that it's really cool.
And I can't remember the actual year we met, because we met a long time ago at Roundup Club in Jonesboro.
We did.
You may have been. I was going there since I was 12 years old, and so I think I might have met you when I was about 16 or 17.
Yeah, I can't remember what year that was, but
you're just a little bit younger than me, I think.
Yeah, I'm 30. I'll turn 30 this year.
I'll be 34 this year.
Okay, yeah, but yeah, I do remember that. The good old Roundup. I haven't been there in a minute. Well, guys, to kick off each episode, I love to ask just some fun questions. So, do you guys drink coffee? And if so, what do you like?
Well, I drink a lot of coffee. She's more of a...
I'm going to cheat on you right now. I've got a
She's more of an
Celsius
energy
in front
drink
of me.
person.
Oh, hey, Sarah's an energy drink person too, so she loves Celsius.
Okay, I try to limit it, but caffeine is my only vice in life, other than working hard.
But I love coffee. At home, we have our normal K cups, but I love the Dunkin' Donuts coffees and Donut Shop. There's some certain ones. The Nutty Caramel from Donut Shop is awesome, and
nice.
I'm a big gotta have heavy cream in my coffee. Yeah, gotta have look, hang on, I'll go get it.
He's super bougie. It's a whole thing with him. Don't get me started on his beard and his hair. He's the hair, beard, and coffee.
But look, I got my little frother.
Oh, your little frother, yeah.
I gotta have my frother. If it's not frothy,
He brought
it's not
that
coffee.
from home.
I brought it from home because I'm like, I can't have it. And right now, see, they don't have a Keurig here, so they have the old school. So I found a good can of coffee at the local little Indian-owned corner store. So
nice.
It's nice coffee. This is good coffee.
I hadn't had that one before, so Very cool, guys.
You hit a nerve with Cliff on the coffee. He loves some coffee.
It's so funny.
Man.
People would come over to the house and they'd be like, or I'd offer them a cup of coffee, and it's just Keurig coffee, but with a little heavy cream, and then the froth it up, and they're like, best cup of coffee I've ever had. I was like, what is it? I was like, it's just Keurig coffee.
We have a tree where you put the little Keurigs. We have and he's OCD about all of his setup, everything, everything has to be.
Oh, it's got it, yeah.
Yeah, so definitely coffee for sure.
Well, I love it, guys. I've got coffee with me today. Coffee is one of my favorite drinks. So for those that don't know, y'all are in Santa Barbara, and you're playing like a month there, right? Kind of fill people in a little bit on that.
Yeah, so we play. We've been coming here since the year we eloped in 2017. We left here for our first contract, drove to Vegas, and got married. So we've been coming here since 2017, and we've picked various months over the years. But now it's every July we come out here. We do 6 shows a week for a month. This time we're staying until August 3rd. They have a big, huge festival called Fiesta, and we're going to stay here until Monday, August 4th, we're flying back home to Arkansas, and it's 6 shows a week, Tuesday through Sunday, 4 hours a night. Piano bar style, where I got a lot of my start in music in piano bars and just interacting with the crowd, learning lots of songs, taking requests, any genre, but it tends to turn a little country when we're in Southern California.
It certainly does.
And that's where we are, and it's been a good time. And I was telling you before we hit record, I feel bad about talking about how great the weather is here, because I know back home in Arkansas it is the Arkansana. Is that a news anchor said that one?
I hadn't heard that. That's great.
So yeah, it's wonderful, and we've made a lot of friends out here, and it's cool because it's international crowds and people from all over the world. So very fun.
Well, that's awesome, guys. And we're going to dive into a little bit more of like how you guys help people with their shows and all that kind of stuff here in just a second. So everybody stay tuned. One last question before we dive in. Do you guys like to go fishing?
I love fishing. I actually told her just not too long ago, I was like, I really want to get, I haven't been fishing in forever. You know, we stay on the road all the time, or if we're not on the road, we're just gigging at home somewhere and staying really busy. So I'm like, we need to take some time, go up to, you know, maybe Mountain View or somewhere that's nice. I love the White River up in Mountain View. Yeah. Great trout fishing, and even I love bass fishing and catfish. When we grew up in Grews Ferry Lake, we would catfish at midnight. You know, use chicken livers and catch catfish.
Oh yeah.
I grew up on a farm, and Mom and Dad still have the pond, so we stocked the pond with, you know, an easy catch if you want to go down there. But I grew up with my dad teaching me how to fly fish, and I had the whole fly fish get up, and we would go up on the rivers. And
oh, how cool!
I was once in Colorado and went fly fishing out there and got water in my hip waders, and it was freezing. So I remember that. And The Sun Also Rises, a Hemingway book, is a great book that I read in college that was about fly fishing. So I recommend that read if you're
wow, I hadn't heard of that. Okay.
Yeah. But fishing, I grew up fishing, hunting, doing all of the southern Arkansas. I mean, exploring all the outdoors in Arkansas, but rivers, canoeing, fishing out of the canoe, you know, all that. So.
Yeah. Well, I recently got into fly fishing. So like that's what with this season, this first season of Coffee with Cory, there's like a theme around fishing or fly fishing, if you will. Okay. And so it's just kind of funny how as I went through this difficult season, I began to really see how much it relates to life stuff. So that's kind of where everything comes from. And so I like to really start off with those questions. So
are you tying your flies yet?
I have not yet. However, I was talking to a friend of mine last week, and he was like, hey, you need to go get this vise and like all that. So I'm probably going to go to Bass Pro next week. And
my dad had a little room where he would tie flies. And so it was so fun as a kid because you get to pick the colors and the feathers, and it's like a little craft project.
Yeah.
And
it
now
is, yeah.
It would be a great way if you deal with anxiety. Sometimes I've dealt with that over the years, and something like that would take your mind off. It would be a really cool way to deal with that too.
Now, I've never been fly fishing myself, but I did. Growing up, my grandparents used to have this like going down their staircase. They had this big frame on their wall, and it had all these different knots. No, it's just
knots.
different knots and ways to tie knots, and some of them were fishing knots and for baiting a hook, and for tying a hook on. And so my grandfather taught me a bunch of different ways to tie on hooks, and so I was kind of obsessed as a kid.
That's where you learned it.
Tying a lot of what?
That's where you learned how to tie all those cords and knots.
Oh yeah, definitely my grandfather. He was an obsessive compulsive in a way. About chords and just management over anything, organization. He was very organized.
You're very organized, man.
I try to be, especially with our tables.
Just don't look at our couch right now with our laundry on it.
Yeah, no, don't do that.
Well, don't look at my floor right now. There's papers everywhere and all kinds of stuff. Well, guys, again, it is such an honor to have you here. Let's just dive in here to the first segment. It's on faith and foundation. So this episode is it's a celebration of community and encouragement. And no matter what line of work we're in, I believe community is essential, and it's how we grow. Surrounding ourselves with people who are farther along in their journey, asking questions and learning from them is such a powerful thing. But I feel like in today's culture, that can be tough. And we're often afraid to admit we don't know something. I know, at least for me, I speak from that. And it's like we're expected to have it all figured out. But the truth is, this kind of learning through mentorship and apprenticeship is how people have grown for generations. And Cliff and Susan, you've been that kind of community for me these past few years, and I'm so grateful for it. And that's why I wanted to dive into this today. And something I was even thinking about, Cliff, was like, I remember meeting you at the Roundup, but I remember meeting both of you officially in August of 2020 when I came to Sounds of Unity, which was, we all were having a virtual concert for that.
Yeah.
And so shout out to Laura, Justin, and Buddy from Tenpenny Gypsy. Yeah. And, but from that meeting, you guys have impacted me through songwriting, mentorship, and by even inviting me into opportunities like your festival and Entertainers Academy. I feel like there is so much we could talk about today. And so I'm definitely going to have you guys on again, because there's just no way we can get through it all. You guys are amazing.
The Cliff's Notes. No pun intended.
What was that?
I said the Cliff's Notes today.
The Cliff's Notes. That's right. But before we really dive in here, I wanted to say this from the bottom of my heart. Both of you carry such a humility and a kindness, and that's been deeply inspiring to me on my journey of life and music. So it's incredible just seeing what you guys have done with your own career, but even more so how you're using that to pour into and lift up other artists all over the world now, which is just so incredible. So that leads me to my first question for you guys, and feel free to start where you'd like, but I would love to just kind of walk a little bit through your journey and what led you to mentorship and becoming part of a mission as a couple and an artist and as artists.
Well, thank you for all of those kind words. And it honestly is just, for me, I was raised kind of like that, just, deeply rooted in church and heart-centered work ethic and just treating people with kindness. My mother, I always say my mom was my biggest, everything good in me was largely my mom's influence on me. And, but just, being raised right, first of all, just a general foundation of good principles and a blueprint for life. But as I began, leaving corporate world and a whole degree and doing the expected path for me, when I went into music, I had a lot of mentors that helped me. And so I always believe in giving back. And there's nothing more rewarding than helping others, I don't think. I don't do it to get the reward, but there is I guess a fundamental frequency that is a abundance mindset. Give more, and then you get more back in some regard. But that was just kind of I always said learn, grow, share, repeat. That was like my 4 words.
I love that.
Like 15 years ago, I was like, I always just enjoyed learning, and sometimes before I could even learn it all, I'd be sharing it with somebody else, but I think it's just like paying it forward. It would be the general reason, and just kind of fundamental to what I've always done. So as we got married and started doing more, we were able to serve our community in bigger ways as well. So it's like, you just said, learning from people in front of you, asking for help. Because somebody's always a learner. Somebody's starting at A, and we might be at L or M, N, O, P, and there's somebody at Z. You can always turn around and help the person behind you. You don't have to be at Z to start helping people. You don't have to be on the mountain going, look at me, to help someone right behind you. And it's just rewarding to all rise together. So I hope that answers the question. I kind of rambled there, but
no, absolutely.
That's really just the sentiment behind it all. And it's just fun to be able to make friends and doing what you love to do.
Right. Absolutely. Well, I love that. Especially that, I forgot what it was now, but like the three little things.
Learn, grow, share, repeat.
Learn, grow, share, repeat.
Learn, grow, share, repeat.
Yeah, I learned something new, and I'm growing through that. So I always wanted to turn around and share. That's just been my nature. So, and then repeat that. And whatever it is in life, I mean, it could be on my diet and mental health journey, or it could be on learning AI, all of that stuff, but really specific to music. That's what the fundamental reason for launching the Entertainers Academy was, because also in a business sense, we wanted to be able to do something that we could grow over the years and have something that could be profitable financially. But right now it's just been a labor of love, really, and it's been awesome to have people like you join in and grow with us.
Well, yeah, let's continue down that path. Or actually, first, I guess I've got to say, I've got like this piece of paper that sits up here, and I just put this up not too long ago, but my word for the year is trust. And then I put, where's your heart? That way, anytime I dive into something, it's like, okay, where are you coming from this from?
Yes.
Let's remember what it's about. And so I'm going to have to add what you just said, too. I love that. But
I have affirmations all over my wall as well back home.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll write stuff down. I believe in writing it out, not just print. Like, I write it out and then post it on. And I have a whole wall and things that I've learned and stuff that I need to be remembering. I put it on the wall and stuff. So yeah, it's cool.
I had really gotten away from like writing stuff down, and now I feel like it just changes everything when you really write it out.
Yes.
Instead of just type it.
Writing is like you're. It's not just speaking, and it's biblical too. Speaking and prayer. But also writing it is another form of putting it into the universe and asking for those things and just affirming it. So like also if you want to learn lyrics, memorization of lyrics, writing it out. There's something about writing it out in hand, not typing, writing.
Yeah. I was literally about to say that. Yeah, I've been writing out my lyrics here lately, and it makes a huge difference. Well, guys, let's continue down that path of Entertainers Academy. And I know y'all have kind of hit on this, so if there's something else, but like, what led you to start it? Like, kind of how did it come about, and what's the heart behind it?
Well, I saw some other of my mentors in the space doing similar coaching, projects, online virtual spaces, reaching people all over the world to help. So I saw that as an avenue and just a way to reach more people to help. So that was just one of the original thoughts behind it. But when we got together and, Cliff brings this massive skill set and talent, and then I've got a lot of business behind my experience and skill sets, and then coming together as a duo. So we've got singing piano players, singing guitarists, and I thought we need to work on, and our production company. So it kind of wrapped a good bow on a resource or a product that we could serve. Singing guitarists and singing piano players are typically the ones we work with because we can help them the most get to building a show. And it's really rooted in how do you financially survive while you're doing all of your other projects, because it's no secret that it's hard to be an independent artist and financially pay your bills while you're growing and getting started. So in our opinion, it's been the true scenario for us in the last 20 years for me is that building a great show that you can book, which is rooted in cover music, but having that skill set of entertaining a crowd using other songs that are recognizable to a crowd, you build yourself in your career financially. You become a better performer. It's the best masterclass in hit songwriting when you have to learn all those songs. So there's a lot of ways that I've been able to build my career off of the backside of that and go into the original music space. And so I wanted to share that blueprint and that framework of how we've done it. So that's really, there's like 12 12 modules of how to do that. And it starts with putting together a great live show.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what you guys have done is just absolutely incredible. And I still have so much to go through with it. But I love how you guys have even created like the Excel sheets with songs that you guys have had. I think y'all even have the tabs in there for them that you can just pull all that stuff right up. I mean, it's just incredible. So anybody out there that is trying to just get on this journey or interested in this journey of going full-time musician, this is where you need to be. I'm not kidding. It is just so good.
Well,
but I mean,
that's the party starter set list that we created. I actually have an app that's going to make it easier, so you don't have to be overwhelmed with the spreadsheet.
Really cool.
And you'll be able to just pull it up and use it. And
yeah, very cool, very easy.
Yeah, I just started working on that this week. But yeah, I mean, lots of resources for people to know what to play to get a party started, and even like knowing what songs are easiest to start learning, which I'll tell you more about some things we're about to launch.
Okay.
But yeah, thank you for checking that out and mentioning that.
Yeah, it is awesome. It is so cool. Well, I know with those shows, you do want to hit those hit songs, those massive hits. That way you get the party started. But you guys are artists as well. And I can't wait to talk a little bit about here in just a minute, West Virginia, because I love that song, guys. Oh my gosh. Thanks. But how do you go about balancing kind of the roles of an artist and then being a mentors in your business?
Well, I think with our cover shows, doing what we do and being able to throw that party and pick the right songs. I mean, that obviously comes from just years of both of our experiences in just doing so many shows and knowing what works at what time and, knowing when to throw on the party switch and turn it off. But, as artists and mentors, I mean, like it goes back to that, her saying that, learn, grow, share, repeat. We always, it's like cooking up a good recipe and like cooking a good meal. And it's like, I'll cook something at home. Like, you got to try this. It's great. Yeah. That's kind of what we do with our music. We're always like, when we discover something that really works well in the moment, in the and especially if it works well multiple times, we immediately like, oh, we got to talk about this on the next Entertainers Academy call because we want them to know it. We want them to be able to experience that moment too. So. As artists, we're always finding those little moments in our show where we can, make something special happen in the crowd, and immediately be like, you got to try this. This was really fun that happened this night, and I think you should add that to your show. So
yeah, you are learning as you're doing it too. Like that's what's so cool.
6 nights a week right now. I mean,
we learn everything, something new every time we come on one of these contracts. That's one reason why we love coming back. And even my grandmother, she'll see us after we've done one of these month-long contracts, and she'll be like, I haven't seen that. Y'all are doing something new. Y'all always get better at doing something.
She's like, how do y'all get better?
So these shows teach us a lot.
I love that. Okay, this is a little bit of a jump to the side for just a second and we'll come back.
Sure.
But for those artists, I know I struggled with this, but like being able to sing for 3 or 4 hours, I mean, and y'all are doing it 6 nights a week, which is just wow to me. How do you guys go about preparing for that and just making sure you're vocally ready and even playing like piano and guitar and fiddle, all that?
Yeah. Number one, health. And I mean, not just physical, but mental health. And but one of the big takeaways, I hope, if there's a singer out there who wants to do, a career in music, I wish my younger self knew this, is a vocal coach, a great vocal coach. Because you really are an athlete. You're a vocal athlete. Your instrument happens to be inside your body, right? So that means you have to take care of your hydration. We sleep enough. We drink lots of water. I don't drink alcohol. Cliff limits his. Any external factors, drugs, alcohol, smoky environments, There's a lot of tricks and tools that we use to make sure our vocal health is on. I learned the hard way, had some vocal issues, and then found a vocal teacher that I do a 30-minute lesson once a week. She's in Vegas, Kimberly Knitz. I recommended her to you. She's fantastic. She's changed my life for 5 years after a rehab. Now I've built my voice in a place that I never thought was possible. So that would be the way we sustain, is taking care of our health. If we get sick, knowing how to handle that, not hurt ourselves or damage our vocal cords, and then learning how to run marathons, because you can't sprint every song for 4 hours straight.
Right.
You have to learn key placement, vocal placement, how to sing correctly. So important, so that you're not hurting yourself.
Yeah, making sure you're doing your warm-ups and cool downs and all of the tricks to get you being prepared to do that night after night. So that's definitely
very
key.
important, because if you can't sing or talk, you're pretty much dead in the water. I mean, I don't know what else. You'd have to take a night off. The venue has to find a replacement. You end up in vocal rest for weeks, or maybe vocal surgery. So I don't want to scare anyone. Luckily, I've not had surgery, but I got real close, and I learned. I was like, nope, not going to do that. So I would highly recommend reaching out. Reach out to us. We'll give you a recommendation on who to use, and there's a lot of stuff online you can find for free too.
Yeah, Kimberly's great. Oh my gosh, yeah, she's the best. But yeah, I just want to take a little side note there, because I was like, that is so important, and I've been discovering that myself. So, are there specific moments when you realize what you're doing is what you were called to do?
Oh, every night.
Yeah.
Every
absolutely.
night. That just triggered me. I don't know why I got emotional when you said that, but no, I mean, just when we're, it's some people, I think, probably artists who have original music. Some don't. They may look at cover music shows, cover gigs, and I have a lot of this. It's feedback when you run an ad about doing a cover show. I would never play Brown Eyed Girl, and I'm like, it's so not about Brown Eyed Girl.
Right.
It is not about Sweet Caroline. And if that, I hope to break that and get to the root of this question. And what I'm going to answer with is that the magical moments and the frequencies, we all resonate together in those moments that you can't. I think that's why we're safe when it comes to this AI revolution, because live music and what we're creating in those moments, it happens to be that we're using songs that other people wrote and that that they know and love, and sing along songs and all that. But the smile, I'm addicted to watching people having fun, and it's like if we can facilitate that, that is just beautiful. And it's metaphysical. I think that's my calling. That I feel that I found that calling, and I found it when I was, in my early 20s. And I will never, no matter where I go with my career, I will never not want to have those moments, because that's really, to me, why I'm here on this earth, to bring people together. I mean, we could have left, right, center, any type of religion in the room. It's all away. It all goes away, and we're all singing Brown Eyed Girl or My Girl or Sweet Caroline. Johnny Cash goes over anywhere in the world, by the way. And
That's
awesome. That to me is so beautiful, because it's like we're all human, and fundamentally we can come together through music and put it all aside,
Right. I love that. That's such a beautiful picture. How do you stay grounded and inspired while pouring so much into others?
Partner, a great, my superpower is my husband, and not just on stage, but having, I guess that would be, in a general sense, just surrounding yourself by people who are like-minded. I think they say you're the sum of, or the average of, the 6 people you spend the most time with. So being mindful of the energy that you're surrounding yourself with. And we're just very methodical in our day to make sure that we are reaching goals, and making sure we're taking care of ourselves and staying grounded and rooted in faith. I know we'll talk about that at some point today, but some of that is just the foundation underneath it all. I will say I'm a bit of a workaholic, so it is a challenge for me to stay balanced and give me some me time, and not just go, because I truly love what I do. But sometimes I need to look up from the computer and go for a walk, that kind of thing. It's a challenge. It's not like we've got it all figured out, but I would say mostly just having a good partner or a good family support system around you, because it can get lonely, if you don't have that.
Yeah, I know trying to play, kudos to those that do just the solo shows, because when I was trying to do that, it can get lonely, even though you've got these people out in front of you and they're having a great time. But when you're just there and then you're packing stuff up, it's kind of like, oh man. So
Yeah.
I love what you guys are able to do, being married, and then y'all get to share in each other's talents. So it's really incredible.
I will say it's an important point to bring up because I think same as like comedians. You think about comedians who love to make people laugh, and they seem like they would be the funniest and happiest people, but there is a different side to everything. And so, like, when you get off of that high of this crowd that you've just been entertaining, it's almost like taking 6 shots of espresso and then crashing hard. It's like
Right.
you get all of that excitement, and then you're packing up your stuff, and you're hot and sweaty, and you're like, it's
Right.
like there's 2 sides to it, and so you do have to still keep grounded in some way, and make sure, again, going back to the mental health of it all, making sure you're right in where you need to be mentally to prepare for all of it.
That's been a challenge too for me. And I wake up, I have a method or a whole morning ritual. It doesn't take me very long, but I write in the morning, I do affirmations, prayer, like just to set the right. I think it's all rooted in gratitude. When you like really, even writing out what I'm grateful for, 10 things in the morning. Sometimes I'll do that. Just starting and not letting like the phone and whatever trigger and whatever news blurb it affect my frequency when I start my day, because I'm like prime time my first 4 hours, so I really want to make sure I'm like running on all positive cylinders and not distracted. So
Another one of those kind of mantras that we have up there is God surprised me today.
yeah,
That's one thing that we like to practice saying every day, just because when we do say it, it seems like it always happens.
Yeah.
Something always
big or
happens.
small.
Good,
I told one of our students or Entertainer Academy members to do that. The next day she said, I went out to the mailbox and I had a check that I didn't know was coming. And I was like,
That's awesome. Well, that's so cool. I was actually about to kind of ask you guys about some faith stuff, but I love that because it's really like, and I've had to go through this, but just being like, okay, God, I'm open-handed here. Lead me.
yes.
So, I mean, that's kind of what feel like I'm getting. Let me know if I'm wrong. But
yeah. And I think that's why, if someone's not rooted in Christian faith or prayer, it's, mantras, meditating, asking the universe, whatever you believe in, to just, serve me today. This is what I want. And that's why vision boards and writing out your future. I even use AI to help me think of my future self. It knows my goals. And I was like,
hey, that's
give me a
cool.
vision. Give me something I can read before I go to bed to envision my future self in 5 years from now, and let me think through it, because there's a lot of things that I've learned over the years from mentors and stuff that really help you set up for God to give you the things that you want, and you will surprise yourself in like 3 years. Think of yourself 3 years ago if you were doing that, the things you've accomplished now that you didn't even know were possible back then. So it's like, well, if that's the case, then I just need to get excited about 5 years from now and just know it's going to happen. And God surprised me today. What's today's surprise to head toward that thing?
Well, it's also, to add to that, like it's interesting how we've learned that, like diet and everything is making sure our house clean. There's a reason that cleanliness is next to godliness, and there's a reason that gluttony is a sin. It's like all of those things, when we're doing everything right, everything seems to go right.
Yeah.
And when we're slacking or lacking in some departments, it's like, okay, we're doing something wrong
Yeah,
here.
or
What's
what
going
lesson
on?
do we need to learn right now from that? It's not a stop sign, it's a speed bump, but we need to learn so we can go and move to the next step. So I think it's been definitely something I've gotten better at over the years, especially since I've been with Cliff.
Yeah, that's awesome, guys. Thank you for sharing that. That was, that was good. I needed to hear that. This could be any time, but could you share a moment, whether it's from a show or a ride or a teaching session, that hooked your heart?
Well, I would say collectively, and you can, if you want to think, well, I just off the top of my head, because I'd love for us both to answer that. But there's been multiple times in our shows that someone has left a note or told us afterwards or sent us a message later that said something to this effect, and it's happened so often that I can't give you one example. Most recently, there was a lady that had lost her son, and she said, I have been out, it's been 2 years, however many years, months, This was my first time to get out, and you don't know what your show did for me tonight. That was, I needed this. And something like that to that. And it's happened with Cliff's song, A Song for Granddad, too.
Yeah, no. One of the, we had a post with that where we were invited on the Huckabee show, and we shared that video from that show. It was our first national TV appearance, and a lot of people resonated with that song, A Song for Granddad. And I remember in the comments, someone said, I go back and listen to this song so much. We love it so much. My dad just passed, and my grandkids sang this song, and they wanted it played. They actually had that song play at his funeral. And that was like a major crazy thing for me to think about. It's like, I wrote a song that someone loved so much and connected with that they used it to honor their loved one. That was an incredible experience for me to think about. So that was really cool.
Man, that's awesome. I mean, and that's kind of what this podcast is about. It's like, we've got to cast it out there. The gifts that we've been given, because you just never know who that's going to bless.
Well, and that's, again, it's crazy because we all have the life existential, like, well, we don't have children, and I don't know if we will have children. We have tried to have children, but that just hasn't happened for us, and everything seems to be good for us, but it just hasn't happened. So I'm like, what's going to live on is our music, and what feelings that we've given to someone, and hopefully our music is passed down, and those messages, because it's crazy that we still find songs today that maybe some small artist created 100 years ago, 50, 100 years ago, and then their music is brought up again, and now you have this rebirth of their life, and what they've done in their life. So I think many times, what do I bring to this world? What do we bring? And I hope that our music, lives on, which 50 years ago from now, or 100 years from now, when I'm forgotten about, nobody knows who I am, but they discover our music later on, and it, kind of rebirths what we've created in our lives.
And also with the Academy, just what we've learned, if we can share that and ripple effect into sharing what works for us, and then other artists can take that and have that same, it's not just about our music, but also about the ability to connect with crowds and how we can teach that. Because to my knowledge, there's not really anywhere, I've searched, there's not a lot of, here's how you learn how to, deal with the crowd. And there's some resources. I love Tom Jackson and some of their resources, but as far as teaching that and leaving a legacy for people to have that, to then go and spread that kind of art, the performance.
Right.
So
yeah, well, I know when you guys started Entertainers Academy, that I was like, this is exactly what I was looking for. I was like, oh my gosh.
Awesome.
So thank you guys for stepping into that, because I know even for me, like stepping into this podcast, especially that first episode, or even just getting started, it's a little nerve-wracking. But you never know. And I know I said a while ago, like, who you're going to bless, but really you just never know who's really needing to hear that song, that whatever it might be, and how that can change their life in such a beautiful way.
I think that's why I'm transparent about things. I don't go share all, most people's feeds on social media are the highlights reels, and then we compare ourselves to people, and they're like, oh, they just got it all figured out, and I must, with all my problems over here, I must suck, I just, and so I don't always share everything I'm going through, but at some point I do, like with sobriety or anxiety, mental health issues I've had, and I will get a lot of people, like I even had a note come up on the piano that said, your post saves lives, thank you for sharing your story, and I was like, okay, I need to keep talking about it. And so, I do share where appropriate some of the struggles that I've dealt with to get to this point, because, it's taken me 20 years to finally figure myself out, and I'm not there yet, but I'm a lot further than I was when I was 24,
Yeah.
Well, and I want to circle back to, something that you said, someone, when you said you don't know how much, someone might need to be hearing a song. And that's one thing we try to convey in our Entertainers Academy with our cover songs. You know, people, you know, want to, you know, throw shade at cover music and cover songs, and it's like, what you don't. Why would we want to deny that? Maybe Sweet Caroline was the last song someone sang with their mother or father, and that holds a very special place in their heart. So it's like, it's not about the song, it's about the experience and the feelings that you bring to people. So that's why we're like, we don't even think twice about it. People are like, do you not get tired of playing Devil Went Down to Georgia? No, I don't really. I mean, it's honestly, it's a fun song to play. And that song, I literally remember the first time hearing that song in the back of my grandfather's red Blazer, and like, I have no idea how old I was. I think I was 4 or 5 when they had that Blazer and traded it in. So I was at least 4 or 5 when I remember hearing Devil Went Down to Georgia for the first time. It was that much of an experience for me. Wow. And I guess it was enough that I had dreams about finding fiddles, and that's why I started asking for a fiddle. So
it's about
that's awesome. Yeah.
Those moments are so special.
They are, man. That's so cool. So I mean, that song takes you back to then. Yeah, that's just so cool. I love that, and I love just that look on, because I've heard many people with the same thing. They're like, well, why would you want to do that? Why would you know? Yeah. But man, you just don't know the impact it can have.
Well, and the crowd most of the time, unless you're in a room full of musicians who do the same thing that you do, they're gonna not want to hear Wagon Wheel. They're gonna want to hear some B-side geeky song that we only they would know and get off on. But the point is that most people come in and you need to play recognizable songs, and we'll use a song as a tool to feature Cliff on fiddle. It's great if they can sing Country Roads first, and then we rock out on fiddle at the end. Yeah. So I think that. Yeah, do I love playing those songs? I wouldn't come home and play it for enjoyment. I play it for the crowd because I know it's going to work. Or
like things like Tennessee Whiskey. It's like people are like, oh, I'm so tired of hearing Tennessee Whiskey. Well, do you know how many people probably got married and that was their wedding song? Yeah, it's like, come on, man. Like, that's a special song for a lot of people. You know,
and they request it, so I'm not going to not play it just because I played it too much.
Yeah,
that's right. Well, guys, let's move into this next section here, casting it out there. What encouragement and advice would you give to an artist listening today that maybe is trying to find their voice, if you will, on their own journey?
Well, I would say find someone who you look up to and that you've kind of, that inspires you, and don't be afraid to reach out to them. You know, now, some people are more accessible than others, but, you know, there's got to be somebody around you or online that you might look up to. And if you can't personally connect with them, then watch them do what they do right, or try to think about. I remember going and finding Lainey Wilson's I was really excited about all of the momentum she's had in the last few years. And so I went back and I was looking at old videos on Facebook of her 5 years ago, and I was like, what was she doing 5 years ago? Because that's what I need to be doing. You know, like, I was just really inspired by somebody's story. So you can find ways to, you know, reach out to them or use them as a blueprint. And then I would say the imposter syndrome that a lot of people feel like, I'm not good enough. Well, nobody was ever good enough when they first started. Some people are naturally very gifted when they first start, but I mean, you need to just know that if you really feel called to do that, then take the first step.
Yeah, you are where someone else very famous started.
Yeah,
you know, it's okay to be someone else for, like me. I think of me and my journey. I didn't really sing before. I did like backup harmony singing, but when I got with her, I sang a lot more. But I think back, and I tried to be different voices along the way, and I tried to sound like this person or sound like this person. But if I hadn't done that, I still probably wouldn't have found my way the way I did. So every piece is a part of your journey. So it's okay to, you know, want to sound like somebody, but eventually try to find what you sound like, and you know, try to stay true to what you feel and what you are as an artist, or who you are as an artist, and always just be better. Practice, and if you're not growing, then
you're backing up.
Yeah, you're backing up.
Yeah, that's right. That's so good, guys. why is mentorship and passing it on so important in today's music industry?
Oh, because, well, first of all, I mean, I don't know that there are schools for music. It's like we all went to school. Did it really prepare you for the actual real world?
Right.
There are definitely fundamental things that I learned in school, but did we learn how to do our taxes? Did we learn how to manage our finances? You might have had one course in college, but so in the music space, getting out there and learning, and there's so many resources now. We're all collectively kind of figuring it out and investing in a lot of YouTube online free resources or joining academies or all of that. I think it's so important because a lot of it is learning by doing. And the learning by doing, you can find people who are willing to share like we are to really create resources for you to learn and grow in the real world. And don't get me started on where we're headed with AI and tech right now. And so no time like now to really find the people who are learning how to do it and building real connections, human experiences that, to me, those live spaces, because writing and everything is being challenged right now with AI and ethics and all of that. So being able to have a live show, I think, is important too, and finding spaces to grow in that is going to be something that will set you up for a long term.
And I also think with today's society and social media, it creates such this competition, that's like, I've got to be doing better than that person, or it's a very competitive space. And if we stop sharing, then we stop growing as a whole. We have to have those mentors. And why not want to share what you know so someone else can succeed?
I think it comes back to abundance mindset. It's like some people have, I've used this analogy a lot. I don't know who came up with it, or I would credit them, but some people, like, the difference between limited mindset and abundance is abundance. Well, a limited mindset is there's one pie with 8 pieces and there only 8 people get pieces. Or there's unlimited pie and everybody can win. Everybody can have unlimited pie. There's unlimited pieces. And that's one analogy, but a lot of it is just being rooted in gratitude and knowing that God will give you exactly what you need. There's no reason to be like this. It's also like negative breeds negative. It's, if you think something bad's going to happen a lot, which is why I dealt with the anxiety thing, because I would bring more on because I had I just needed to get on the right meds, to be honest, but to help me understand or just keep my emotions at the right place so I could stay in an abundance mindset and not focus on negative, because it will breed more. There's something, I'm sure, biblical about that as well as metaphysical, and I studied a lot of that, and I think it's been true when I've seen people who are rooted in heart-centered abundance versus limited mindset. They're limiting themselves from growing with that philosophy.
Well, I do want to just back up for a second and say, Susan, thank you for sharing about your anxiety and stuff, because I know you did a while back, and I saw that on social media, and I think I may have texted you around that time, but that meant a lot to me, because, man, it's you don't want to walk through that alone, and you don't have to.
No, you don't. And I mean, it's like now that I've got, I'm so thankful. I worked so hard, and it took me almost a year to finally, and I wake up every day grateful that I don't have massive anxiety in the mornings. I have crippling, like debilitating. Like I would go and jump in the shower and shock my body because I was like just helpless. I didn't know how to get out of that. It was just, my body was out of control in my mental health. And so I'm on the right daily habits as well as the right medicine, so that everybody's different. But anxiety can take over and really not allow you to reach all of what you've been put on this earth for. And it's just like your physical health, mental health. It's like if you had something wrong with your arm and you broke your arm, you'd go to the doctor to get it fixed. I want to normalize being able to talk about the mental health issues, especially in music, because I think we all feel like, and then add self medication, drugs, alcohol. For me, it was alcohol. It would help me feel better, but then I developed a problem with it. So there's a lot that goes into being a musician and learning how to deal with your mental health, and I do hope to always share and be transparent where it makes sense. Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for sharing so much today. I want to hit Entertainers Academy here in just a second, but you guys had mentioned how Cliff, you had mentioned something about like just going out and like getting help from other people. And I wanted to talk. That just brought to mind West Virginia. Didn't y'all go to a different studio than your own to record that one?
Yes, we did.
Okay, yeah, talk about that, because see, I think that's really cool that y'all did that. I am a huge fan of the song. Absolutely love the lyrics. I was even thinking about some of it this afternoon in the second verse, and just talking about, I was like burying the house with her. I love that. I'm gonna butcher it, but I know, like, I just love those lines there.
Bury her in the grave.
It's so the third verse is, she tried to hide the truth at the bottom of a glass, make believe in things were just the same as they were in the past. But I can't stand to see the place that I call home, bury her just like the grave where our love died long ago. So that was that line, and
that's cool.
That's, I always semi-metaphorical things, and obviously that's not a personal experience story, but it really just started as the West Virginia as a title, and I just was like, West, Virginia. I'm going West Virginia, talking to a girl named Virginia. It was like, that seems like a cool idea, but how the heck do I make that work? So conceptually, we figured that one out. So
I love when Cliff gets an idea, because he starts staring off into the abyss, and I know he's writing a song, so I don't interrupt him, but he'll be. And I just know, I've been with him for 9 years now. I know he's writing a song. Stay away. He's about to create something cool.
That's awesome.
We work on them together.
So back to your point. This Colt. Hang on one sec.
Yeah.
Colt Caparoon is who we went to, Dark River Studios in Nashville. I'd been following his journey for a very long time, and like she said, if we were at letter M, he might be at letter S. Like he's about 6 to 7 years ahead of where I am in my growth, in my production, my studio, what I have gear wise, and the knowledge. So with production and mixing, that's definitely a passion of mine, something I love to do. Just arranging an idea that comes from just a singular idea for a song to put all of the music around it is something I really enjoy. Like I love making something come to life, and I hear and see a full picture when I hear a song. I'm like, oh, this is how it's gonna go. I already hear it, so I'm like, now I have to make that happen, physically in real life. So that's a really fun thing for me to do. And when I started watching Colt, I think I've probably been watching him for close to 10 years. And I remember he had a couple studio builds in another city, and then he moved to Nashville, did his studio build. I watched that whole studio build, and so I've just looked up to him for a very long time. Of course, we've done a lot of our own music at our own studio, and that's worked out great. I'm getting better and better at it, but we always want to be like, how do we level up? We got to level up, because I'm going to get there. Hopefully in 5 years I'll be able to do what he does and have the knowledge and have the gear that he has. But we can't do that in an instant. So it's like we've got to figure out how to get in touch with someone else. And we have gone to some other studios, but personally, preference and where our music is, we loved his sound.
Yeah, that's the other thing I was going to say. Yeah. His skill set is not just gear and everything; it's also his vision for the song arrangement, as far as what musicians to bring in Nashville. So that's cool. Mostly Cliff did all of the instrumentation on our record, so it's cool to bring in other ones and have their artistry on it. And so that's another advantage by working with another producer. As long as they see your vision and you're like, that's the sound I want, and they're professional, and he's incredible, and he was great to work with.
And we went on in pretty cold. Like, we didn't know how the working relationship was going to be, and it turned out great. And he's also very smart he's got a massively successful YouTube channel, so he understands social media and marketing, and that's a very
how to release even.
Release.
Really, that's awesome.
So that he's very knowledgeable on all fronts. Really,
he's the reason we were like, we have to have a music video for all of our songs if we can afford it.
And that's what really helped us, having a music video. So anyway, we went there for West Virginia, and we just on a whim, we had happened to be going to Nashville, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna message Colt Caparoon, which she knew, I think, about him a little bit, but not too much at the time. And I was like, I just want to see if he would be willing to work with us. I have no idea. I thought he was just like a unicorn. Like, yeah, he's never. But I sent him another song that was not West Virginia, and he liked that song well enough to be like, well, let's meet. I like the song. Let's meet about it. And so we met him at his studio, and I was like, he listened to that song, and he was already willing to work with us, but he was like, so, I mean, what else do you have? Yeah. And we showed him Spitfire, which we released right before West Virginia, and I was like, well, just to get you accustomed to what we're doing, this is one that we're about to release. And he gave me some pointers and stuff on that. I went and fixed some of that stuff and adjusted that mix to release that. But then he heard West Virginia, and it was fun to watch him, because when he hit play on it, he just
got silent.
He just got quiet, and because during Spitfire, he was just like, I would do this and I would do that, and you might want to. And so with West Virginia, he just kind of sat there and listened through the whole song.
We were looking at each other because his back was to us, and was like,
yeah. And so he turned around and he was like, "That's the song I want to produce." And so I was like, "Okay, let's do that."
Yeah, that was it was last year when we were in town for the Josie Music Awards. It was our first time to go to the Grand Ole Opry. So
yeah.
Oh, very cool. Well, guys, I wanted to just kind of dive into that for a second. I wasn't playing that, but I was just like, oh my gosh, y'all mentioned it, and I was like, that is such a cool thing. I think not only for me to see, but the people listening, that y'all stepped out there, to give that a try, and that's what we're talking about today. And which I just love that song too. So, okay. Before I get way off track, I guess let me come back a little bit here. Why don't we dive into Entertainers Academy? Because that is not only about just the show, but it is about, I mean, you guys, I was thinking earlier, we talked about grants on there. I mean, just so much more. So why don't you guys just tell people how they can get involved in that, and then like what you guys have on there?
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah. So the Entertainers Academy is an online portal, and we've got different levels. But I think right now it's $27 a month, so it's not going to break the bank. We do a weekly call, and we get on. Whoever shows up live can we meet them where they are in their career, get any kind of things that they might have going on with their career, answer questions and give advice. And then we teach on a topic each week. So it might be for us, TikTok, what's working right now on the live show, the live streams. But we do all of it. And every step is kind of a roadmap, and it starts with mindset and, goal setting, and then building your show, getting your gear, learning how to book the show, market your show, how to perform online. And eventually you're going to start making enough money that you can start you need to form a small business, which means you're going to be your own label for a while. So it literally takes everyone through what we've done with our career through 12 steps. No reason we chose 12, but it seemed to make sense. And but there are other things that you can get outside of the membership. That's the Party Starter set list. If they go to partystartersetlist.com, you can get that, and it's over 1,500 songs. About to launch an app with that, and we just basically say these are the songs that work with a crowd. So get your, it's one thing to market and book your show, but if you don't do a good show, that's where we really want to make sure we get that nailed down. And then we've got a new product coming out. I've got one called the Piano Party Starter, which is going to be just 5 songs that are going to be the easiest, but with the fundamental groove, so that most piano players don't know how to sing and accompany themselves and sound good enough in their hands. So I've got that course coming out in August. And
that's really awesome.
Because people saw me doing that, they're like, Cliff needs to do one. So Cliff's like,
yes, he does.
How to sing and play your instrument. For me, in my case, piano, him with the guitar, acoustic guitar. How to go in and lead a crowd in a fun show. And so we're going to make it super simple, so that not beginner, like you need to have a little bit of skills on piano or guitar, but you could just be a hobbyist or you could be a classically trained piano player like I was, and then still need to learn how to play the grooves. So that's where we're headed with that. So we're just, as we learn and grow what people need, we're trying to come up with the resources that will meet them where they are. And then if you want to get everything $27 a month, we might raise it soon. So get in there now. Entertainersacademy.com is where you can join that membership.
Yeah, and I love it because not only are y'all doing that, I mean, y'all help people with sound stuff. Hey, what do you need if you're solo act? What do you need if you're this, if you're a 3-piece band, full, or whatever. I mean, you guys have helped me tremendously through all of that, and keeping things organized as far as like taping down your chords, what kind of things to use. I mean, all that, it's so important.
Yeah, and you're gonna eventually get to that point and go, oh no, how do I need to do this? Well, we'll just show you how we do it. It's Cliff has every time we go to a new scenario where we set up a new show, we walk it through. If we have time before the show, I'll just follow Cliff around and he'll just point and show the academy, this is how we set up this corporate event, or this is how we set up in an outdoor space. But rain was an issue, so we made sure the speaker was here, and we don't want speaker placement and all that. So we just, as we do it, we share it. That's what, and then we keep it organized in modules so you can easily find it.
Yeah, well, that's awesome, guys. I was gonna say something else, and now I kind of forgot. But oh yes, just to kind of reiterate. Y'all are meeting, I guess, once a week, right? And then people can jump on that through Zoom.
Typically, right now, Saturdays around 2 p.m. works for us, Central Time. We kind of bounce back and forth if our schedule doesn't permit, but we get people plenty of time. And you log into the portal. It's self-paced. You can pick out like whatever you want to learn, and then join us weekly. And of course, you can, if you can't make it live, we have the replays available, and we send out one email a week to say, here was the replay from last week, and here's what we're going to be talking about this call. And so nothing too crazy, overwhelming in your inbox, but just a place and a space where you can also communicate with other members and learn from them as well. We learn a lot from other people, so.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to bite off the monthly on the Entertainers Academy, we do have the Gig Amplifier Workshop. If you want a little fast track, a little bit of taste of what we teach in the Academy, in like a Cliff Notes bite-sized portion, there's a lot of information that you can have there, and also the party starters.
Yeah, I'll send you the link. We've got a link tree that people can click on and pick the thing they want to do. I'll get that to you so they can find that around this podcast.
Perfect. Yeah, we'll put it in the show notes, and then when this is out too, I'm going to have clips that will come out with all of it. So I'll definitely put all of that in there.
And they can reach out to us in our DMs. We see them. Both of us see that. So just if you want more information, they can just reach out to us.
Well, I just couldn't recommend it more highly enough.
Thank you so much.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I truly mean it, guys. What as we kind of begin to land the plane here, how can people find your music, all that kind of stuff? What's next for you guys?
Oh, next. Well, I'll make that. I'll try to say in a short time, because we've got a lot going on. Sorry. So we are on all of the streaming platforms, Cliff and Susan. You can type us in on any social media platform or on the streaming platforms. We would love for you to focus on Spotify, because that's always kind of a priority for most musicians, because you need to get your numbers up. That's the whole thing. But you can find us on Apple or YouTube. And we have 2 music videos. You can go and find us on our Cliff and Susan music channel, or our Cliff and Susan YouTube channel. We've got Spitfire in West Virginia that have videos now, which we're really proud of those. As far as what's new or what's coming, we're about to launch a crowdfunding project for those who want to join our new fan club called The Holler.
Let's go. I love it.
Yeah. Or we also have a goal to raise $30,000 to fund our sophomore album, which is we're going to release a single at a time leading up to our next album, which we want to drop in the fall of next year. So we've got ways for people to get really cool perks and tiers and all of that. We've been working hard on that. So that'll be dropping here probably this week. And then beyond that is just stay tuned. Come to a show.
Yeah, writing music and lots of shows coming up. You can find our schedule at cliffandsusan.live. And you can follow us on all the socials at Cliff and Susan.
Reach out to us. Follow us.
Follow us on Spotify. And,
that's right.
Spotify listener or Apple Music,
wherever you are, likely we are. Like, so if you're on Facebook mostly, go follow our page and join our fan club there and that kind of thing. So.
Yeah, go listen to their music, guys. You can find all this in the show notes below, and add their songs to your playlists. I mean, they're so good. West Virginia. Go add that. Hey, me and Cliff have written some songs together. Natural
we
State.
I was just about to say, I was like, let's not forget.
Well, hang on, let me set it up. This album, Fiddle and Keys, won Album of the Year at the Arkansas Country Music Award. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's right. Yeehaw, amen, let's go.
And 2, maybe 3 of those songs were ones that we've written, co-written with Cory. Cory and I did some writing sessions, which we need to do again. We haven't done it in forever.
We do, man.
But one of them was A Natural State, which that song is obviously both special to us, both being Arkansas boys. I think we captured growing up in Arkansas and in the South, not even just Arkansas, but in the South, really well in that song. That kind of paints a picture of growing up in Arkansas. And
absolutely.
But also, When I'm Feeling Lonely, that was also on the album that we co-wrote together. And there might have been one more, but I can't remember right now. But
I know those two for sure, yeah. Well, I love those songs, man, and I love learning from you when we're writing together. Both of you guys are just incredible musicians, and I mean all the things in your own right. And just when y'all come together,
thank you very much. You have great music yourself, and you're a great writer too. So,
thank you, man.
No, we're excited about everything you're working on right now as well, and can't wait to help support it and share it. And maybe we need to do a show together down in Arkansas. I would
love that, guys. That would be fun.
Yeah.
Well, y'all, thanks for tuning in today. Cliff and Susan, thank you guys for your time today. And this has blessed me, and I know it's going to bless so many people that are listening in. So tying this... go ahead.
I just want to say I love what you're doing, because I feel like you're right centered where you're supposed to be, and this is a way to blast out your gift to the world and allowing us to be here to share our story. We hope to always support that, and really cool to watch you do
Honestly,
this.
Great interview. We've really enjoyed being on here.
Oh, man.
One of the best interviews. You're doing great. How many episodes are you in?
This will be 7.
Oh, wow.
Which is crazy.
You're a natural. You're a natural.
Thanks, guys. I really, really appreciate that, y'all.
Yeah.
Well, y'all, tying it back to the theme today, moments that hook your heart, celebrating the people who inspire you. That's right, reel it in. Some of the best moments in fly fishing aren't about the catch. They're about the stillness, the shared experience, the stories made, and learning to notice what's happening just beneath the surface. And life is the same way. The people who inspire us often show up quietly, but when they do, they leave a lasting mark. Cliff and Susan have done that for me, not by chasing the spotlight, but by faithfully pouring into others and casting out what's been given to them. Their story is a reminder that true legacy isn't found in what we hold on to, it's in what we give away. So guys, I know we had mentioned maybe you have a quote, scripture, or even a song that you would like to share. Would y'all want to share that with us today?
I'm going to share.
Well, since there's 2 of us,
you get to do yours.
I'll share one too.
Yeah.
Because I think my motto in music, I think, can be used in life as well, and it's practice and don't practice until you get it right. Practice until you can't get it wrong. So that's one thing, So it could be anything in life. Don't do it until you get it right. Do it until you can't get it wrong. So maybe that could work in many other aspects. Just
absolutely.
And mine is Maya Angelou, and it's people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. And that's in our shows or just in life in general. That's important.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much, Cliff and Susan. This is my first time to have 2 guests on at the same time, so I love it.
Luckily, we're married. We love each other.
That's right. All right. Well, as we begin to sign off here, do you guys want to say yeehaw, amen, let's go at the end of this?
Yeah, we even wrote it down so we got it right.
we had to remember it.
I love it. Yeah, cue up the cards. Here we go. Don't be afraid to cast it out there. You never know when something or someone might hook your heart. So trust the cast, embrace the journey, and let's go. Or you just might hear us say,
yeehaw, amen, let's go.
That's right. Love you guys. Thank you so much. See you guys in episode 8.
Thank you.